So earlier today, I saw Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, directed by the Daniels and produced by A24, of course. So, just a quick little thing that I wanted to say before I review this movie. I did see Apollo 10 and a half, like I said. I just couldn't get the 1 minute review out uh, as quickly as I wanted to. But that is coming after, like, pretty much right after this video. So stay tuned for my thoughts on that. But obviously, I feel like more people want to hear my thoughts on this movie because this thing is kind of blowing up at the moment. Um, actually, there's a lot more people there on opening night than I thought there would be. I didn't think this would garner as big of a crowd, just because even then we weren't in that big of a theater, but it was all sold out, which is phenomenal. And it is now the highest rated movie on Letterboxd, which is very cool. And I could not have been more excited for this thing. I saw the first trailer for it. I don't even remember when. I don't remember what movie it was where I saw the trailer for it, but I remember seeing it and turning to Cam and be like, we have to see this movie. There's no way in hell we're not going to see this movie. And thankfully we did. We did today, and it's phenomenal. This movie is incredible. There's no other way to really describe it. I don't want to build it up anymore. Everything, everywhere, all at once is a masterpiece. It just is. It blew my mind. This movie is it's something special. It is truly something special, and I think it's going to be remembered for a pretty long time. I kind of struggled writing notes for this movie just because where do I even begin with this thing? What angle do I tackle this film from? What aspect do I touch on first? Just because it's perfect. This movie is absolutely perfect. The balance in tone of how just off the wall, batshit insane this thing is, but how also universally accessible and relatable this movie is just flawless. I think this is one of the best examples of how to balance tone in a film. Something that not a lot of people pick. Like, I don't want to say a lot of people, but not a lot of movies really give a shit about this. Not a lot of movies know how to do it right. But this movie absolutely has to be the best example of this. The only other movie that I can think of that did it almost as well was Infinity War, but this movie is definitely a little bit above that movie in my opinion. When it comes to that, just the balance of tone and pacing and editing in this film, just completely flawless. Completely had my jaw on the floor for most of this movie. From a directing standpoint, from a screenwriting standpoint, everything from like a story perspective was just an absolute triumph. I was laughing. I was just completely in emotional shambles. I was enthralled. There was some really exciting action sequences. The characters and the way they interact with each other is so distinct and has such an integral like plot point at the end that is phenomenal. I really don't want to spoil it, so it's kind of hard to talk about. But each of the main characters have specific traits that all tie together at the end. It's just done so beautifully and so well. This is really a screenwriting masterclass, and I could not praise it anymore. Performances from the entire cast were great. I mean, just again, it's almost indescribable how well made this movie is, and how much I enjoyed watching it. Just how much I could not keep my eyes off the screen the entire time. And a lot of it has to do with the performances, how real they feel, and how not they never feel over the top. They never feel melodramatic. They never feel like they're I don't know, in the know of the insanity of the movie, but they also are, and it balances so much. This movie, it has all of these layers, and you would think it would be a complete mess. You think this movie yeah, like I was expecting it to be kind of messy and be kind of, oh well, there's some loose ends there. Oh, there's some aspects of this movie that weren't that great. Maybe some dialogue that wasn't too fantastic, but no, it just is an immaculate film, and I am awestruck, really. But anyway, going back to the performances are so goddamn good. The lead actress is amazing. The dad is phenomenal in it. The husband, whose name I'm not gonna say because I really don't want to butcher it. I don't want to butcher his name, but all recognizable actors. You know most of these people from other movies, which is I thought was phenomenal. But the husband in this movie, if he does not win an Oscar for best supporting performance, I am going to riot because he was incredible in this film, showing so much range and diving so much into this in-depth character that there is a moment in this movie towards the end, and people who've seen it will know what I'm talking about, but there's a moment in this movie towards the end that has to do with his character specifically that moved me more than any other scene in any other movie. Like I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to kind of give you my thoughts on it without spoiling this movie, but there is a specific scene towards the end of the film that has to do with him that completely broke me. I mean, that scene, it hit so goddamn hard. And oh, I can't even talk about it. I can't talk about it. I don't want to give anything away. I need to stay focused. That scene moved me more than any other thing in any other movie ever. I'm not going to say this is my favorite movie of all time now, or anything like that. But that specific scene is the most emotionally impactful scene I've ever witnessed in my many years of movie watching. I've seen almost 2,000 movies, and that scene just swept me away. It completely broke me, and I still haven't recovered from it. It's been almost 3 hours since I walked out of the movie, but holy shit, that scene is just a train hitting you, and then again and again and again. And this movie pulls at your heartstrings, but it never goes overkill. It never feels forced. It never feels unearned at all. Nothing in this movie feels unearned. It has emotional beats. It has action. It has character, like family dynamics. It has anything you can think of, and it just goes for it. And it hits with all of it, which is just so surprising and so moving and so beautiful. This is such a beautiful film from a cinematography standpoint, from an editing standpoint, from sound design. All of it is just beautiful and moving, genuinely moving. This film is such a human story, even though it has to do with a multiverse. It's such a character-driven story, and it just works. It works so goddamn well. And what else? And I said this in my notes. This is genuinely one of the most entertaining, beautiful, and moving films I've ever met, and I've ever seen. And I think that perfectly describes it. It is one of the most entertaining, one of the most beautiful, and one of the most moving things I've ever seen in my entire life. I seriously cannot get enough of this movie. It's a special kind of movie in that it grows on you as you watch it, because it literally went from B+, A-, A, until my actual rating. I don't want to spoil it yet, but I think you guys can guess it at this point. Throughout the entire thing. And this is a special kind of movie. These kinds of movies are why I do this, are why I love movies so much. Because every once in a while we get something like Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and it just sweeps you away and takes you to a completely different mindset, completely different dimension in your head, to where everything seems okay, if that makes any sense. Not to get a little cheesy here at the end, but yeah, this movie, it's something special, and it's something that I'm going to remember for a very long time, and I think it's something that's going to be praised by a shit ton of people just because it is this damn good. yeah, it's the Batman. It's going to be very hard for these two to be duking it out at the end of the year for my favorite movie of this year. I don't know now which one I like more, and they're very not comparable. But for now, I'm just gonna say everything, everywhere, all at once gets an A+. This movie, it's something special. It really is. So that's my thoughts. Sorry, it's kind of it really is hard to talk about because it is so goddamn good. Just go watch it, please, please. I beg you to go watch this movie. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I will be doing a 1-minute review of Apollo 10 and a half very shortly, and I will see you guys later.